Mitch, we could do it. We're twins, aren't we?
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 child stars of old Hollywood.
Wally,
Yeah?
what do you think he's gonna do to us?
For this list, we'll be looking at the most memorable child stars of the classic era, regardless of whether they went on to stardom as adults. To keep this list old Hollywood based, we're only including child actors who got their start before 1970. Which of these precocious performers was your favorite? Let us know in the comments. Number 10. Brandon deWilde. The child of actors, Brandon deWilde was on Broadway and winning awards by the time he was 7. Most American moviegoers know him from Shane.
Good morning, Joey.
How do you know it was me?
Well, I figured the car couldn't work that latch.
The 1953 Western, starring Alan Ladd and Jean Arthur, got the 10-year-old an Oscar nomination for Best Supporting Actor. His echoing calls at the end has become an iconic movie quote. deWilde's career would actually flourish throughout the rest of his adolescence. Roles in high-profile movies like HUD, co-starring Paul Newman, would keep him in the public eye. However, because of his boyish looks, deWilde was never taken seriously as a lead.
Get all the good you can out of 17, because it sure wears out in one hell of a hurry.
He was killed in a car accident at the untimely age of 30. Number 9. FREDDIE Bartholomew.
Hey, you didn't think I could do it, did you?
That's fine. You certainly surprised me.
While his name may be lost to modern audiences, Bartholomew was at one time the second highest paid child star behind Shirley Temple. In his heyday, he starred alongside movie greats like Spencer Tracy, Greta Garbo, W.C. Fields, and Judy Garland.
What else could I do again but keep repeating through and through, I love you.
Family squabbles over his money would rob him of most of the fortune he had amassed in his childhood career. Like many golden era actors, contract disputes, studio hopping, and eventual service in World War II brought his career to a screeching halt.
I can't think. I can't do it.
He would later find only modest success as an actor for television before turning to producing. Number 8. Margaret O'Brien. Talk about getting an early start.
I was drunk last night, dear mother. I was drunk the night before.
Margaret O'Brien was only 4 when she was signed to a contract with MGM. By the time she scored her most famous role in Meet Me in St. Louis, she was already a pro.
One leaf is two leaf is one, under the bamboo tree.
Her role as Tootie Smith earned her a special juvenile Oscar. Her career continued in classics such as The Canterville Ghost and the 1949 adaptation of Little Women, but she failed to cross over into adult stardom. Years later, her sharp memories of working with some of the motion picture greats made her a delightful recurring guest on the TCM channel.
Working with Judy was wonderful. She was actually a very happy person. She loved playing jump rope with the kids on the set, and she loved kind of being a kid.
Number 7. HAYLEY Mills. One of the original minted Disney child stars, the British-born HAYLEY Mills is the daughter of renowned actor John Mills.
Now you have to think about what you want and wish very hard.
I understand. I'm wishing.
Talent must run in the family. HAYLEY secured a juvenile Oscar with Pollyanna in 1960 and originated the dual leading roles in The Parent Trap, which would be famously played by Lindsay Lohan in the 1998 remake.
Excuse me, but haven't you noticed? We look like each other.
Mills made several more movies for Disney, but voluntarily left the studio to take on more adult roles. Though she never found superstardom as an adult, she's worked consistently over the past several decades. She even starred in the original series that would later become Saved by the Bell.
Cluck like a chicken. What kind of treatment is this anyway? I call it a dose of your own medicine.
Number 6. Jackie Cooper. One of the original stars of Our Gang, the ensemble that would later become known as the Little Rascals, Jackie Cooper found early success in short films.
Hey, you stop that! Jack, sit down there, young man, eat your breakfast. I don't want any breakfast.
At MGM, he would act alongside the studio's biggest male star, Wallace Beery, whom Cooper once said was so jealous of his early success that the veteran actor would deliberately try to upstage him. His biggest triumph may be Skippy, a 1931 comedy about a child going up against a villainous dog catcher.
You ain't got any dog.
Yes, we have. He's that black one. And he's always kissing ya.
Well, we shot him.
Skippy earned the 9-year-old actor an Oscar nomination for Best Actor. As of 2023, he still holds the record as the youngest nominee in that category. He found later success on TV, both in front of the camera and behind the scenes.
We'll always be mates, won't we?
Certain we will.
Certain we will.
Number 5. Natalie Wood.
Hello there. Good to see you again.
It's nice to see you.
You're awfully lucky, Mrs. Walker. Lovely little girl you have here.
The future star of West Side Story, Splendor in the Grass, and Inside Daisy Clover made her screen debut at 4. Her first leading role was in the holiday classic Miracle on 34th Street, where she played Susan Walker.
Mommy told me if things don't turn out just the way you want them to the first time, you still got to believe. And I kept believing, and you were right, Mommy. Mr. Kringle is Santa Claus.
The young actress was once described by famed director Orson Welles as so good, it was terrifying. She would appear in over 20 films before coming of age, and even scored a regular role on the sitcom The Pride of the Family. Her Oscar-nominated turn in Rebel Without a Cause marked the 16-year-old actress's transition into more mature roles.
I've seen you before.
Well, stop the world.
You don't have to be unfriendly.
Well, now that's true. But life is crushing in on me.
Number 4. Elizabeth Taylor.
I play the piano. Not awfully well, but...
Now, you're being modest.
Though her performances in racy adult roles would eclipse her early work, there was an entire generation who knew Elizabeth Taylor only as the lovable horse girl from National Velvet.
Father, he does work. Jumping, racing, and leaping. Isn't it a good job of horse just to be beautiful?
If her breakout performance remained her most famous, it still would have been an admirable career, but she continued making appearances in lighthearted MGM fare for the next few years. Soon, she would be cast in more mature teenage roles that required her to be more seductive than the good girl parts she had been playing.
It's a most unusual day.
By 1950, she had already begun taking on more mature roles that would make her one of Hollywood's most beautiful and controversial stars. Number 3. Mickey Rooney. Beginning his career in vaudeville, Mickey Rooney had one of the most enduring careers of any star of the old Hollywood era.
Lord! What fools these mortals be!
He made his screen debut in silent short films before making the transition to talkies. His 16 performances as Andy Hardy, the all-American boy next door, cemented him as one of the country's most famous actors.
Polly, if you're still my girl after this mess is cleared up, I'll never go in for polygamy again.
Many of the Andy Hardy movies paired him with his most famous co-star at MGM, the uber-talented Judy Garland. Though his success would wax and wane like any star's, he was still acting at the time of his death in 2014.
Why did you stop training?
I got tired.
Number 2. Judy Garland. Considering how fraught and punishing her time at MGM was, it's hard to imagine just how young Judy Garland was when she began her career. She was only 13 when they signed her.
Over the rainbow, bluebirds fly.
Her mistreatment at the studio didn't stop her from becoming one of its biggest stars. Her pairings with other young stars like Mickey Rooney and FREDDIE Bartholomew launched her into her defining role, the Wizard of Oz, at just 16 years old.
Well, I have a feeling we're not in Kansas anymore.
Her career would only become more legendary from there. Considering her tragic story, it's a testament to her immense talent that she was one of the few performers on this list to achieve even greater fame as an adult.
Forget your troubles, come on, get happy. You better chase all your cares away. Shout hallelujah, come on, get happy. Get ready for the judgment day.
Before we unveil our top pick, here are a few honorable mentions. Roddy McDowall. This Planet of the Apes actor was an established star by the age of 12.
I fell on the mountain.
Did you win, Hugh?
No.
Jackie Coogan, one of Hollywood's first child stars, his experiences led to new legislation for child actors. Deanna Durbin, once a Judy Garland rival, this musical star is credited with saving Universal from ruin.
I need no signs, I need no chart. The Weather Bureau in my heart is saying it's raining sunbeams.
Jerry Mathers, the Beeve was easily one of America's most famous child stars in the late 50s and early 60s.
Maybe if you put him in water, he swells up.
Patty Duke, by 18 years old, she had been on Broadway, won an Oscar, and headlined a sitcom.
Oh, my dear.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Shirley Temple. Some of the child performers on this list became bigger names as adults, but Shirley Temple is still the quintessential child star.
On the good ship, lollipop, it's a sweet trip to a candy shop.
The famously curly-haired actress made her name in cheaply made, melodramatic musicals that charmed Depression-era audiences and made a killing at the box office. Before she retired from films, at the ripe old age of 22 years old, she had carved out a spot among Hollywood's brightest headliners.
Animal crackers in my soup, and rabbits loot the loot. Dash for feed, but I haven't. Swallowing animals one by one.
Her work in the public eye continued in an unexpected arena, politics. She served as a U.S. ambassador and chief of protocol under President Gerald Ford. Although politics wasn't as glamorous as Hollywood, who's to say it wasn't just as exciting or exhausting as a career on the screen?
Everybody was a child at one point.
But has it been a real disadvantage?
I think it's been a great advantage.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.